Good morning, children. Welcome back to our grammar class. In the first part, we have done about the phrase. Now, let us look at the clause part. Understood? A clause. Now, what is a clause? A group of words which forms part of a sentence and contains a subject and a predicate is called a clause. Now, in a sentence, there are two parts. One part is the subject and another part is the predicate. Subject means what? Subject means about whom we are talking, and predicate means what? About we are talking about something, but what is taught or what is said about the subject, that is a predicate. So a group of words which contains a subject and a predicate is called as a clause. Now we all admire a person who is honest. Now this is a clause. What do? We all. Who admire? We all. Admire whom? A person who is honest. So this is an example of a clause. Now a sentence has two types of clauses. First one is the main clause, or it is also called as the principal clause. And the second is the subordinate clause. Understood? First is the main or principal clause, and the second one is the subordinate clause. Now the main clause is the main part of a sentence. It can make complete sense and it does not have to depend upon any other clause. Means when we write a sentence, when we understand it clearly, we say it is a main clause. It does not have to depend upon anyone to understand the meaning or to get the clear meaning. Look at the example. I don't know where he lives. Here we can understand. So it is an example of a main or a principal clause. Understood, children, till here? Yes. Now look at the second one. Second one is the subordinate clause. What do you mean by subordinate clause? This is a type of clause that cannot stand alone as a complete sentence. Suppose we write it, you cannot understand it. We have to take a support of the main clause. So subordinate clause is a type of a clause that cannot stand alone. Means alone, if you write it, you cannot understand it as a complete sentence. Now look at the first example here. First look at this part which I have underlined. Because it will rain today. Now only if you write this, because it will rain today. Only look at this underlined part. Can you understand anything? No, you cannot understand anything. So to understand the correct meaning of this, to understand the sentence, what we have written, you have to take an umbrella because it will rain today. Because it will rain today, alone it cannot stand, so it has to take help. Understood? Now look at the second one. Yeah, because it is too tight. Now only if you look at this, because don't look at the second part which I have underlined. You cannot understand anything because it is too tight means what? You cannot understand, it doesn't make a complete sentence. So I cannot wear this dress because it is too tight. So when I use these words, then the underlined part has some meaning. So this is what the subordinate clause means. Now the clauses are further divided into three kinds: noun clause, adjective clause, and the adverb clause. We will do this in the next chapter. This is the next chapter. Now in your textbook, on page number 5, take out page number 5 from your textbook. There are two exercises in that. First one is, say whether the group of words italicized in the following sentences are phrases or clauses. Now see here, sentences given, some sentences are written little different. Now Neha sang, you have to identify it as a phrase or as if it is a phrase or a clause. Now Neha sang a lovely song. Now a lovely song is there. Understood? It is written differently. A lovely song. Can you understand anything? No. So what is a phrase? A phrase is a group of words which makes sense. A lovely song, it is making sense, but does it make complete sense? No. So first one, Neha sang a lovely song. A lovely song, that is a phrase. So write there phrase or write the P. Understood? Do this in the textbook itself. Now look at the second one. I should hate to tell lies. To tell lies is there. See here. To tell lies. Can you understand anything? To tell lies means you cannot understand the full sentence. This sentence is also a phrase. Now look at the Third one, clause. What is a clause? In the clause we have seen, a clause is a group of words that has a subject and a predicate. Now look, third one is a clause. Now see, I do not know what he wants. This sentence we can understand it correctly. So that is why it is a clause. I do not know what he wants. Fourth one, do you know where he lives? Do you know where he is? Yes, you can understand the complete sentence properly. So fourth one also is a clause. Now look at the fifth one. Do you enjoy watching movies? Now which words are written differently? Watching movies. Understood? So watching movies, can you understand anything? No. So that is a phrase. So like that, now 5 we have done. 6 to 15 onwards, in the book only you have to write whether it is a phrase or whether it is a clause. Now look at the second exercise is also same. The second exercise also, the words which are written in different writing or in italicized, those words you have to see and write whether they are a phrase or whether it is a clause. Now look at the first one. God is in everything. In everything. Here this is a phrase. In everything. Only if in everything can you understand? No. So that is a phrase. Now look at the second sentence. Ask if he is at home. Yes, this is a clause because it is a complete sentence. So like that, these two we have done. Rest 3 to 15 in your textbook itself, you write it whether it is a phrase or whether it is a clause. And don't forget to write today's date, children, over there. Okay? Okay, bye.